Hello everybody, and welcome to Art with Miss V. Today we are going to learn about the famous African American artist Faith Ringgold. Faith Ringgold is an activist, she's a teacher, she's a quilter, and most of all, she is an artist and a storyteller. We are going to learn about her life and her art, and then later we're going to create art inspired by her style. In the last video, we learned all about artist Faith Ringgold, and we read her story, Tar Beach. Then we created art in her style by making a quilt frame around a drawing of ourselves flying over anything we wanted.
I was born during the Great Depression, and I lived in Harlem. From the time I was a little kid, I always had my crayons, and my father brought me my first easel. I had my paint. Who's Afraid of Aunt Jemima was my first story quilt. We know Aunt Jemima as this person on a pancake box. I rewrote Aunt Jemima's whole story. She becomes an entrepreneur, and she's just fabulous in my story. They would call the guys inside to sit around the table to talk to the curators and to the directors. You understand? But not me. The museum will open up to African American artists, but you won't be one of them because you're a woman. Okay, I got it. Well, I decided that I needed to get involved with women's issues. At the Whitney Museum in 1970, they have biennials there. They had very few women in any of them. The last one that they had, I believe it was like 2%, 2 women. I said, what percentage of women do we demand? So my daughter, she said 50% women. You want 50% of the people in the biennale to be women. You know, we'd blow our whistles. We had police whistles that we blew. We had eggs. I boiled mine and painted them black and put 50% on mine. It felt like we were doing something, and we were a part of the movement in America to equalize things. You can't sit around waiting for somebody else to say who you are. You need to write it and paint it and do it. That's where the art comes from. It's a visual image of who you are. That's the power of being an artist.
Use this as an opportunity to tell your story. We want to know about you. Remember, yours does not have to look like mine. Your art is yours. You can make it unique. I'm going to use a marker today, but you should use a pencil to do your drawing, and then you can outline with marker. Now, where you're flying is going to be different for everyone. This is your story to tell. Are you flying over a tropical beach? Are you flying over a city? I think I'm going to be flying over the city of Cleveland, and I'm going to be using my straight edge again to create buildings. Okay? So here I'm drawing one side and another side. Ooh, that looks like a tall building. And then maybe my building will be a little bit skinnier and taller. Ooh. Cool, and then I'm gonna go across. But I think I'm gonna use this just to make a straight edge. It's just good practice. This building is a little bit taller. These buildings are kind of the same size, so maybe I want one that's a little skinnier, or maybe I want a space in between these buildings. So let's try one that's a little, should it be shorter or taller? What about a tall, skinny one? Ooh. Remember, you don't have to draw buildings. You could have your person flying over Puerto Rico or flying over anything you want. Do you guys think these are starting to look like buildings? All right, let's see. Maybe I should do one more building that's really short. And then I was thinking, what if there was a building behind here? What would it look like? So it's kind of gonna be popping up here and over. These buildings need windows. My buildings are gonna have windows. You might not want windows, but I'm going to have a bunch of windows. All right, so I am flying over Cleveland.
To make it look more like a quilt, we're going to add patterns around our frame, and then we'll add lots of color and detail to make it a complete work of art.
To try to create a night sky so it looks like I'm flying at night. But I want to show you what happens when I use crayon under paint. It is called a wax resist because the watercolor paints will resist the white wax crayon, and you'll be able to see it through. Now, I'm going kind of fast, but I think you should slow down. Good art takes time. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about Faith Ringgold and creating art in her style. Thanks for joining me for Art with Miss V. I'll see you next time.